Hello, brothers and sisters. It's me again. Um, I wanted to come on and make this video because, like the last two little things that I uploaded, one was the mind of man, and then the bitter truth in the bitter. The introduction to the project board. Okay, so I put them up and set it like that because they actually go hand in hand. And so, what I wanted to talk about today is just some things that, this isn't thus saith Father or anything like that. This is just me sharing some things I've discovered over the last few months. Um, with regard to us as people, okay? Um, and how we have been so, and I've said this before, programmed by this five senses world that it really affects how our mind works and how we process things, and even even to the point of how we see things, like make our determinations about life in general and that kind of thing. But there's another part, you guys, to all this too, and this is something that I'm gonna be I'm gonna do a Zoom class, and I'd like to invite you all to it. I'm gonna be doing that starting pretty soon. Probably just once a week. Okay. And it's about this other part, the spiritual part, the part that happens where we don't see, because a lot of us, our eyes are not quite opened, to see these things or even to discern or comprehend. And so what I'm going to say to you now is going to sound like conspiracy, okay? But I just pray Abba shows you my heart in this, is that things, what you see isn't really what you see, okay? Because determinations of sight is controlled right here. What I mean is, it by sight, not the eyeball sight, but the understanding sight. Eyes to see, ears to hear, okay? Because those are different. It's something completely different. And as we go through the project board and the teachings, I've got them stacking up, the studies that I've been doing. But this mind of man, you guys are going to get real sick and tired of hearing me say the mind of man, because it's the intellect portion of us. It's that independent thought, okay? And that really has to be worked on, that really has to be worked with, it really has to be addressed, because our own thought sometimes will overshadow what we're being shown by the Father, because our own thoughts get in the way a lot. And our own, like, opinions, judgments that we make, um, just anything that is between our ears that we work with. This is the part that can get us thrown off, because let me tell you, this here is the battlefield, okay? It's the place where Lucifer started, was to try to get a hold of the mind back at the tree. Now, I'm going to use this as an analogy. What I'm about to say, it has regard to do with working with horses that I used to do. And there's a saying that is, if you can control the head, you can control the whole body. And you know, it's true. I've done dog training, I've worked with horses, you know, um, redirected children, all these things. And so it goes all across the board there. If you can control this, the body, you know, the human or the animal or whatever follows. Because, you know, they always say that when it comes to horses, that it's the bit and the bridle that controls them, and that's partly true, okay, and the reins and all that, okay, that's partly true. But when you're doing groundwork with them, like in a round pen, okay, that's actually where you start getting control over them. And you think about, this is like a 2,000 plus pound animal, okay, and so you're trying to get them to run around, or you're trying to like work out issues. You know, the round pen is the training ground, because they can have issues. Trust me. They're like 2-year olds, okay? They're something else. But you know, you can't physically control a 2,000 pound animal, okay? So you do a lot of psychological work. You get in their head, all right? And if you can control that, then you can control their body, their great big body. And so the round pen is the place where you work out, you know, the booger man that scares them, or uh, past trauma, um, just a number of things. And you do that before you even get on them, because if you don't work that out, then you're going to get in trouble. You'll get hurt, for these horses that need that round pen reasoning. And John Lyons was the one that kind of coined that phrase, and he was a horse trainer. He's really good at it too. They called it round pen reasoning, and you get here. I said that to say this part is that, who else do you think uses that? And I don't just mean with horses. I mean the Dark Kingdom, the adversary. He uses that. He gets in our mind. And when I teach the Mind of Man teaching, which will be pretty soon, you'll see that he goes through a process where he shifts us over from one mode of thinking to another. And right there is where he gets us twisted up. You know, he's really methodical with that. You know, he wants to be like the Most High. So, as we know that our Father, oh, pardon me, our Father is very methodical, of course he's going to follow suit, you know, and there's going to be patterns to the way he does things and all that. This Zoom class that I'm going to be offering is about understanding all that, understanding the way that the Dark Kingdom works, strategies that they use against us, and that kind of thing. But it'll also, some of that will also be included in the project board. Okay, so if you guys want to sign up, you know, for that, I'm going to leave my email in the description part of this video. Send me an email, and either give me your email address so that I could send you the meeting code and the password, when we do the Zoom and the day and the time and all that. Or you can, you know, a lot of people aren't comfortable with this, but if you want, you can email me your phone number and I can send you a text, whichever you feel okay, comfortable with doing that. I don't have enough subscribers to where I could do live on this platform here. So that's the reason why I got to do it that way. Because if I had enough, then I could just cover everything right here, and wouldn't have to um, get in your personal space. So I don't want you to think that, um, I'll be bugging people or anything like that. It's just a matter of if you want to attend this class, it's free, completely free, um, and be part of it. There's going to be other brethren from other fellowships and stuff in that. Um, and anybody and everybody that wants to like ask questions or whatever, on Zoom, then, you're more than welcome to come to that. So that being said, when I say things are not what they seem, you guys, there are, wow, there's a lot, there's a lot of deception, okay? Things that we think are innocent, they're not so innocent. And we actually do these things because we're ignorant of how that works over there and how the little tricks that they use and all that. And what a lot of you guys don't realize is that the demonic will work through people. Okay, I mean, that part I know you guys realize that, but what I'm saying is like people that's in like covens or secret societies and all that mess, understand that they may come to you as another believer, sit next to you in church, um, come into to where everybody meets, and they're real good at being deceptive. They're real good at hiding. Okay. And so what they do, like some of the secret societies, they'll come into churches and learn the ways of Christian people so that they know how to try to do their father's bidding and override us or fight us on on a spiritual level. Okay. Another thing that'll happen is like witches will go into a church. They'll go in there and they'll cozy up to everybody, right? And then they'll want to go through, get all this ministry and sit there and just suck the life out of everything. And they also will go through deliverance so that they can get repossessed with not only that same spirit they got delivered from, but 7 more wicked spirits that and you should have talked about that. um, 7 more wicked spirits than that first one that they got delivered from. They do this to become more powerful. Okay. Um, you know, the mind, the way that the demonic also works is that, you know, hold on a second. I've got a child misbehaving again. Hold on. Okay. She weighs about a whole 6 pounds and she thinks she's this great big guard dog. Anyway, okay, so the mind and the demonic and possession. Okay, let's talk about this for a minute. Um how how can I say this, Father? Okay, you said just say it as the seed principle. Okay, so here we go. We all have problems within who we are, all right, until Father takes us through all this sanctification and healing and cleansing and, all that, where he peels back our layers and deals with what he finds in between them layers. Within them layers are wounds, okay? And so what these demons will do is they come, they whisper, they whisper, and they talk to us about this spot. And once they can get us to start agreeing, or those whispers are seeds, okay? So they're planting them seeds, and they wait on one of them to germinate, okay? So that what happens is and that seed that germinates, the germination part is coming into agreement with what they're whispering, okay? Well, to them that is permission to come in, because they found a window and they're checking to see whether it's locked or not, okay? And so to come into any kind of agreement, see, this is our mind, okay? Our mind is where this takes place. Because we'll start thinking and dwelling on this, what's being yacked at us, yak, 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 yak. And then what happens is it goes down into the heart. Okay, let me give you an example. How many, and if you say you don't do this, I'm going to tell you you're deceiving yourself. Okay, we all do it. How many of us will get a bad thought about a person, or remember, have a thought memory of something that happened like some years ago? All of a sudden, that'll just pop up. And we'll sit here and we'll think on it. Well, the next thing you know, down in the middle of us, we start feeling this, blah, right? Okay, that's death working in us. So what we've done is we've come into agreement with that thought. But we need to start remembering that thoughts that are not after the mind of Father, or sound like or look like Yeshua, they're from the other kingdom, you guys. And this is, we have to understand, and learn to gauge that. That's not my thought. That's not my thought. Let me try to draw an example here. Help me, Father. Okay. To have a thought on some kind of like violence, that, like, I don't know, war thing, you know what I mean? Like, where, like the war in Ukraine, for example, okay, where we have been shown images on TV about, I don't watch TV, but, I know that they're there because my son watches it and he's been having a fit about where they were talking about showing where there was bodies laying in the street and all that kind of thing. Okay, so let's use that for an example. All of a sudden, we're driving our car, we're washing our dishes, or we're playing with, I don't know, our puppy or something peaceful, right? That's giving us some joy. And all of a sudden, that thought will come in our mind. So here we go. And we can either chew on that. Yeah, that was really awful. Oh, that was just terrible. There goes our joy, where we were just being joyful and having good thoughts. And not even a half a nanosecond later, here comes this other thing. And we have to learn when that's an invasive, like an automatic tape that plays, that is not your thoughts. That is something introduced from out here. Blah, 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 yakety, yakety, yak, okay? You know, we need to learn how to rebuke that in the name of Yeshua. Or, serpent, I command you to keep your tongue behind your teeth and don't speak to me. That I reject that. That is not my thought. Okay? But it goes here. See, this is what I'm saying. This thing right here, okay, you guys, is just, it's what gives us problems. It's the main thing. It's, you guys, the mind of man and the problems with it started back at that tree in the garden. Okay, that's why Abba told me to make the project board and to go through all the layers and all this and explain things. Things are not as they seem. You guys, we're in a war right now, okay? A spiritual battle. And I don't mean the usual, okay? And don't think with your head on this, your mind of man on this, okay? What I'm saying is that we are being attacked by upper echelon spirits that we've not ever dealt with in our normal lives, okay? Like, your usual run of the mill demonic, okay? We're used to that, right? We can spot that 500 paces away. I see you. I know what you're about. I bind you in the name of Jesus Christ or Yeshua HaMashiach, whichever way you say it. Same name. Okay. But then we have these upper level things that are coming at us. All right. And let me tell you, they go after this. They go after this real hard. Because if they can start you on that hamster wheel of death, you guys, okay, then they've got you. They've got you caged in right where they want you so that they can just sit here and gab at you, you know, and work death in you and kill you spiritually. That's what they want to do. And I'm not going to get into the full spectrum of demonology right now. But I just wanted to alert you guys that things are not what they seem, and start paying attention and pray to the Father. Ask Him to give you surgically precise, accurate discernment. And that takes time sitting in stillness at His feet, okay? Because we got to learn how to harness this thing. This thing's like a wild monkey, it bounces all over the place. You know, I bet how many of you guys have not ever let me rephrase that. How many of you guys have decided, okay, I'm going to learn stillness, okay? So we go to Yeshua's feet and we're in prayer, right? And we're good for about, I want to say 20 seconds. And then bink, here goes this right here with a thought. And then we're like, no, so behave yourself, be still. Okay, so we try it again. And we're good for another 15 seconds and independently. Boink. Okay. This is a practice that we have to learn this discipline. And if we get in stillness and we learn stillness, then we can go to the Father's feet and we can be still, we can be quiet, because is He not in the still? Right? The still small voice. Remember the story of Elijah? Okay, in the whirlwind, not the one that took him away, but when he was in the cave, right? The thunder and the whirlwinds and all this, and Father's voice wasn't in that. Okay, go back and look at that story. So, I know I kind of jumped around a little bit, but you guys, make sure you anoint your house too, by the way, and anoint yourself. Anoint yourself every single day. Get you some olive oil and, say a prayer to Father and dedicate that and ask Him to make it holy. And then put it here, and to guard your eyes, to guard your ears, your words, okay? And then your hands, and then your head and your heart, okay? So make sure and do that, and don't forget to apply all the layers of the armor, okay? Not just the armor itself. There's all these other layers as well. So I challenge you to go and do. It's a good study. Go dig around in the scripture and find it. Okay, so and ask the Holy Spirit to show you what it is, because it's there for your protection. Okay, So anyway, because the battle is real, it's getting real, you guys, you know, and these things can affect us physically. Make no mistake about it. Okay. Um, and understand that there are things that are coming through the TVs, the radios, the YouTube, the all kind of things that are programming our mind. Okay, they're programming our mind, and they're they're putting seed in there. This is why we got to learn about this thing here, okay, you guys? So anyway, that's enough of me yammering on. I just I just want to let you know it's time to get ready. It's time to prepare. I've been starting to receive another word from Father. And so you guys pray for me, um, so that I can, discern the layers. Everything just kind of swirls, and then I'll see a phrase or a word, or, and then it comes down into what he wants to say. So, anyway, it don't always work that way, but these last few really heavy ones, he has, and I guarantee you this one also is a heavy hitter of a word. So, anyways, much love to you guys. Blessings of Father be upon you and all your house, and may the blood of Yeshua HaMashiach cover you and protect you. May he keep his eye upon you, okay, and dwell in your house. All right. So be blessed of the Father, and I'll be talking to you here pretty soon. All right. Thanks. Till next time. Bye bye.